What's up, Conquerors? Welcome to the Conqueror Rundown Podcast Sports Edition. My name is Amanda, and today I am joined by captain of our swim and water polo team. Feel free to introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Castillo.
Okay, so as always, I have to share a brief recap, just for kind of like the purpose of this podcast, and it's always just to showcase our student athletes, to allow anyone that's listening to get to know you better.
All right.
Okay, so the first question I have for you is college. I see that you're wearing I'm assuming your college commitment shirt, right?
Yeah, I'm committed to the University of Cal Lutheran.
And what made you pick this school?
I really liked the area. It was far enough away where I could get the college experience of dorming, but also be close enough away, or be close enough where I could come home if needed.
Mm-hmm.
I also really liked the resources that they had available to their students.
Yeah. Is there any achievements, whether that be academic or like any sport achievements that you want to share?
Not necessarily achievements, but I'm proud of myself that I've been able to balance a club sport, high school sport, high school classes, and a part-time job, all while being successful in all of them.
So I know that sometimes I get here early enough and I see that you guys have morning practices. Is that hard? Is that rough?
No, not for me. I like it. I'm a morning person. I've always been. So waking up at that time isn't really difficult.
I saw that you guys also just had a senior night. I was able to go and I took a couple photos, but some photos are really hard for me to take. I don't really it's not that I don't understand what's happening, but it's hard because the only good pictures I get is when you guys are jumping off the board. I can't really tell who's in the water and stuff. It's a little difficult.
Yeah, it's definitely not the easiest sport to get pictures of, but they do come out the best.
Thank you. I did see that you reposted them, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I was very happy. Okay, so what do you like to do what do you like to do for fun when there's no practice? What are you doing?
I do like to play video games a little bit. I do like to build Legos. I'm kind of a kid in that way. But I also do watch racing events and for swimming in the European leagues. And I do watch the water polo leagues in Europe because those are the highest form of competition that you can even get to.
Oh yeah. So you said you like Legos. What's your not best Lego set, but what was the one that you were most proud of that you built?
I don't really have a specific set that I liked or was proud of, but what I was proud of is that when I was younger, I would get all the Lego sets. I would build them how you were supposed to build them. Mm-hmm. And then I would take them all apart and then build something bigger with them.
Oh, that's cool.
So I built this big starship thing.
Uh-huh.
It didn't last too long though, because it was built by a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
But it was pretty good.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so when did you first get into swimming?
I first got into swimming when I was 8 years old. I did it for 2 years, and then when I turned 10, because my sister went to high school at the time, she played water polo. So my mom put me in water polo at a club, and then since then I've played.
What would you say is the hardest part? Hold on, the hardest part of your sport that you play?
Definitely the endurance. A lot of people say oh yeah, you must have a lot of endurance, but it really takes a lot because you're treading water, you're swimming, you're trying to swim while people are grabbing onto you.
Yeah.
You also have to move the ball with one hand and make sure and you have to defend it.
So in water polo, you're not this is something I didn't know that I had a couple years ago. My dad was we were outside the pool and we were watching a water polo match, and I'm just oh, are they standing on the floor? And he goes, no, you're literally keeping yourself up. I'm you know how hard that must be? That seems extremely difficult.
Yeah,
to stay up like that.
It takes a lot of years to be able to get to the point where you can comfortably stay above the water for a full game or a full practice.
Yeah, you go swimming in a pool, I can only stay in the deep end for a couple of minutes before I'm tired. I couldn't even imagine a whole game. Do you find it hard to balance school, social life, sports, and all that?
I would say that beforehand I really would, but recently when transitioning to high school and joining the AVID program, they really taught me time management.
Yeah.
So on top of all the other stuff that they were teaching me, they allowed me to really focus on how I would balance a lot of things at once.
What would, like, if someone was like struggling with like finding that balance, how would you help them, or like what kind of advice would you give them?
I would tell them take it one step at a time. Normally, people that are in that position tend to overthink things.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my favorite quotes that I kind of live by is like, if you're overthinking, or like, it's kind of like a story where it's like you're in a foggy mess, but you're trying to get out, and it's like as long as you can see your next step, then you'll find your way out. You just have to take it one step at a time.
I like that. What would you say is your favorite way to stay motivated?
Definitely music. Music. It's more. I like country music. That's not surprising.
So does Jocelyn. Jocelyn loves country music.
Yeah.
I always laugh at her for that.
Country music speaks to me, and over like quarantine, like when everyone was struggling with motivation, like music was really what like brought me out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was basically it.
So like music, so I've had a couple people, like, you know, I've asked them before, like, a lot of the times they use like music, or they'll play it out loud, or they'll play it in their headphones to prepare for a meet or a game. Is that what you do, or what do you do to prepare?
Yeah. So on top of the music that I play, it changes. So every day, just day to day, I'm listening to country music. But when it leads up to games, I switch it up a little bit to a little bit more like focus driven and intensity. So on top of that, I really do like to do band work. Like resistance bands, just to get me ready for a game, get my muscles warmed up.
Yeah. So who would you say is your biggest role model, whether that be a friend, a family, or even like a celebrity? Like, who would you say?
My biggest role model would probably have to be a European player that I follow very closely. His name's Denis Varga. He plays for the Hungarian national team. And I really like the way he plays the sport of water polo. I stole a bunch of his tricks, and they really helped. I would say he's just my biggest role model because I really like the way he played, and I adapted my play style to his.
Okay, so what would you say is the best advice that you've ever received?
Ooh, the best advice I've ever received?
Yeah, it's kind of a tough question. You got to think a little bit.
I have a piece of advice, but it's not really like advice I heard just someone talking to me, but it's like another quote. I like living by quotes.
Yeah, me too. What is it?
It's start every day by making your bed. It's a very common video that people have seen all over the internet, but it's basically like, if you start your day by making your bed, then you've completed like one small task, and then that one small task motivates you to do another, and then another, and then another.
I'm gonna have to use that. That's probably good. I usually do not make my bed at all. Okay, well, I want to say that's it. Is there like any people that you want to shout out, or like any games you have coming up, or anything that you want to share?
We do have prelims today. I'm really hoping to do good in those. I'm swimming the 100 free, 100 breast, and then I'm the breaststroker for the 200 IM relay. I really hope to get a CIF qualifying time for my individual events.
And what time would that be?
I have a qualifying time for consideration for my 100 free. My 100 breast, I need to drop a couple seconds to be in the consideration. I don't think I'll get an automatic time, but if I can get a high enough consideration, then I might have a chance.
Oh, well, I wish you the absolute best of luck. All right, well, for more information on today's guest, Alan, feel free to contact me on my social media account at Conqueror Rundown Sports. Do you want to shout out your social media real quick?
I guess my Instagram, it's like Alan._. Makes a little face. Castillo 4.
All right. Yeah, so feel free to search for Los Altos Video on Twitter, Los Altos Video Production on Instagram, and Los Altos High School Video Production on YouTube. And while you're there, please subscribe, comment, and share, as this helps our channel grow. Thank you, everyone, so much.